breaking news today.
Please subscribe and check notification box to get all breaking news alerts.
Breaking: Obama furious after learning what Trump just did to 70% of his refugees. While President Trump was on the campaign trail, he was very clear that America and Americans would come first with his administration in charge, and that this lackadaisical attitude toward the allowance of mass immigration without forethought would be unacceptable. President Obama and his administration, during their 8 years of pandering to global elitists and the political establishment, wanted to copy what many European countries were doing, by allowing mass immigration from countries mostly populated with people who hate America. Entire cities like Minneapolis have been taken over by refugees who have no intention of assimilating into American society. There is, however, light at the end of the tunnel. The Center for Immigration Studies has released a report showing the comparison between refugee admissions to the United States under President Obama versus the stewardship of President Obama. The report covers the time period between January 20, 2017 to December 20, 2017, and following the same time period in 2016. The report uncovered that President Trump and his administration cut refugee admissions by a staggering 70% during President Trump's first 11 months in the Oval Office. During this 11-month period, the Trump administration allowed 28,875 refugees into the United States, compared to the Obama administration allowing 93,668 refugees entrance. Further ensuring that Americans will be safe and that the U.S. economy will not be negatively impacted by mass refugee immigration, President Trump has limited the number of refugees who can enter the United States in 2018 to 45,000, which is the lowest level since 1980. The Center for Immigration Studies also analyzed the demographics of who immigrated to the United States by religion. In the time period covered in the report for 2017, a little over 53% of the refugees were Christian, 32% were Muslim, 5.4% Buddhist, and about 4% were Hindu. Under the Obama administration during the same time period in 2016, 45% of the refugees were Muslim, and 44% were Christian. One of the first things President Trump instituted when he assumed the office of the president was a travel ban from certain Muslim countries with a history of breeding terrorists intent on killing Americans and our allies. President Trump and his administration were met with significant resistance with the implementation of this travel ban, and as a result, the Center for Immigration Studies uncovered that almost 5,600 refugees from Syria, Iran, and Somalia were allowed into the United States, before President Trump and his administration could fully institute their travel ban. This represents 5,600 individuals who may have a proclivity for violence and now have the opportunity to carry out a terrorist attack on U.S. soil. President Obama and his liberal brethren were on a destructive path, allowing more than 15,000 refugees from Syria alone during 2016. This forced resettlement transformed many American cities, and not for the better. Conversely, in 2017, during his first year in office, President Trump only allowed about 2,000 refugees into the United States. One key fact forgotten by many liberal attorney generals challenging the Trump administration was that a refugee with no U.S. citizenship does not inherently have the right to enter the United States. The sense of entitlement and getting a free ride are liberal cornerstones, but allowing mass immigration from countries known to harbor terrorists was putting American lives in danger. President Trump and his administration recognize this danger and has put a stop to it. The objective of the travel ban, which liberals decried as racist, was to implement tougher vetting protocol for people looking to enter the United States from countries like Iran, Syria, and Somalia. President Trump and his administration rightfully asserted that a non-U.S. citizen, whether they had family ties to the U.S. or not, did not have carte blanche to enter the U.S. and that they needed to go through extreme vetting. Liberals were thankfully unsuccessful in preventing President Trump from implementing his travel ban, but not before thousands of potential terrorists were allowed entry in the U.S. For refugees who are here in the U.S. and still do not hold U.S. citizenship, They may still be subject to deportation if immigration officials feel they are a threat to national security or if it is discovered they have known terrorist ties. As to how long it will take immigration officials to investigate the thousands of refugees allowed into the U.S. under the Obama administration, officials with INS have not commented on this specifically. One thing is clear though, President Trump is making good on his campaign promise to keep Americans safe, and it is driving liberals crazy.